Welcome! I'm Bonnie Rushing, a PhD student at the University of Colorado in Colorado Springs, and today I'm presenting our paper, Evaluating the Effectiveness of Cyber Cognitive Attacks, a Sentiment-Based Approach, co-authored by Dr. William Hirsch, Dr. Xiaohai Shi, and Cora Gwartney. This work was submitted to the Washington, D.C. Conference on Social Sciences and is a part of our team's broader research on cognitive warfare. Let me start with the problem. False news travels faster, further, and more broadly than true news, according to related literature. Adversaries exploit this through coordinated amplification, bots, and algorithmic recommendation systems. These cognitive attacks are enhanced through cyber technologies targeting human minds, aiming to manipulate perceptions, beliefs, and actions. Here's the gap. Despite growing doctrine and anecdotal evidence, we lack standardized, data-driven measures that tie emotional framing to observe a spread. We can describe the problem qualitatively, but we lack ways to measure it systematically. That's what this paper addresses. We make three contributions. First, we formalize a three-phase cognitive attack effects chain, resonance, proliferation, and influence, as a reusable, platform-agnostic framework. Second, we apply it as an empirical case study on FakeNewsNet PolitiFact corpus of 1,056 labeled articles, quantifying how sentiment and topic interact with spread, and introduce the Resonance Proliferation Score, or RPS, for triage. Third, we build a crosswalk from our measurable observables to disarms execution phase tactics, providing quantitative support that has previously been absent from that framework. The core of our framework is the cyber cognitive attacks effects chain. Resonance is the effective hook. Emotionally charged content captures attention and triggers cognitive biases. We operationalize this through headline sentiment using Vader. Proliferation is the spread. The narrative gets amplified through sharing behavior. We measure this with tweet and retweet counts at the article level. Influence is the downstream impact on beliefs and behavior. This is the hardest to measure. It requires longitudinal or off-platform data, so we scope it for future work. This paper operationalizes the first two phases. I want to be explicit about that scoping decision up front. Our methodology has 4 steps, and it's designed to be reusable. Step 1. Sentiment extraction using Vader, compound scores on article headlines. We chose headlines specifically because 59% of links shared on Twitter are never clicked before resharing. The headline is the primary stimulus at share time. Step 2. Topic classification using light word keyword rules into politics, health, celebrity, and other. Step 3. Engagement quantification. Article level tweet and retweet counts with outliers are handled via Tukey's IQR rule. Because engagement is heavy-tailed, we prioritize medians and upper quantiles over the means. Step 4. Correlation analysis using chi-squared tests, negative binomial regression for count data, and quantile regression at the 50th, 75th, and 90th percentiles. We control for false discovery rate using the Benjamini-Hochberg. For further information, the full methodology is explained in our paper with references that get into the nitty-gritty. Our data set is FakeNewsNet PolitiFact with 1,056 labeled articles, including 624 real and 432 false, spanning from 2010 to 2018. We chose this data set for several reasons. The veracity labels come from PolitiFact, a nonpartisan professional fact-checking organization, making them more credible than crowdsourced or automated labels. The dataset includes tweet IDs and engagement counts, enabling diffusion analysis. And to our knowledge, it's the most credible, publicly available labeled dataset for this domain. We used only public tweet IDs and article metadata as distributed. No additional user data were collected. Now for the findings. Starting with research question 1. Do false narratives differ significantly in emotional sentiment from real news? The answer is yes, strikingly so. Nearly 46% of false article headlines are negatively balanced, compared to just 15% for real news. And real news clusters heavily in neutral territory, 66% neutral. False narratives are spread across both negative and positive extremes. The bar comparison at the bottom makes this visually stark. False narratives are emotionally polarized in a way that real news simply isn't. This confirms the resonance stage of our effects chain. Emotional framing is a structural feature of cognitive attacks, not just a coincidence. This is a chart from our paper. The y-axis of this chart displays the sentiment scores for the headlines, with 0.0 in the middle representing true neutral. Positive sentiment goes up and negative sentiment goes down the axis. The x-axis highlights each category topic that we examine: narratives about politics, celebrities, health, and others. On the left, in the light gray, real news stories collect around the neutral and slightly positive sentiments. On the right, in the dark gray, fake news stories are spread more along the sentiment distribution, especially towards the negative end. Research question 2 asks how sentiment correlates with virality, how viral something is. Here's where the mean versus median distinction becomes critical. Real news has a higher total and average tweet volume, 418,000 total versus 165,000 for false. But median tells a very different story. False narratives have a median of 40 tweets per article versus just 4 for real news. That's a 10 times difference. What this means is that real news virality is concentrated in a small number of very high-performing stories. False narratives achieve broader, more consistent mid-level engagement across the distribution. And when we look at negative sentiment specifically, 28.8% of false tweet engagement comes from negatively balanced articles versus only 8.6% for real news. Negative sentiment is a disproportionate driver of false narrative spread. Research question 3 examines topic sentiment interaction. Which topics are most risky? The results are clear. In health topics, false narratives average 441 tweets per article versus just 82 for real news. False is 5 times higher. In celebrity topics, real news averages 0 engagement, while false averages 465. Politics is the exception. Real political news dominates with 845 average tweets, driven by mainstream amplification of a few high-profile stories. The takeaway is that health and celebrity are the highest risk pockets. These are emotionally volatile domains where conspiratorial and sensational framing exploits effective stakes. Fear, victimization, conspiracy, and state overreach are the recurring themes in high engagement false items. Research question 4 asks, how can we use these observables to support disarms execution tactics? We find direct quantitative support for two tactics. TA17, to maximize exposure, is supported by the higher medians and upper heavy tails that we observe in false narrative tweet counts. TA09, deliver content, is supported by the topic sentiment pockets, particularly with health and celebrity topics. TA18, drive online harms, is consistent with our polarized fear and conspiracy frames, though we're careful to call this phenomenon not causal at this time. Three tactics, pump priming, persist, and drive offline activity, are not testable with our data set because they require timestamps, network structure, or off-platform evidence. These are promising targets for future work. The key implication: computational observables can operationalize doctrinal frameworks. We can move from doctrine to data. To make these findings actionable, we introduce the Resonance Proliferation Score, or RPS. RPS is simply the product of sentiment extremity, the absolute Vader compound score, and topic normalized engagement percentile. The topic normalization is important. It makes the score comparable across domains and robust to heavy-tailed engagement distributions. High RPS flags items that are both emotionally potent and unusually viral for their topical peer group. A threshold at the 90th percentile of real articles provides a human meaningful baseline for alerting. On the right, you can see a prototype triage dashboard. It surfaces high RPS items with a ranked queue and explains why each was flagged, decomposing RPS into its effect and spread components for analyst accountability. Another look at this dashboard is examined on the next slide. For defenders, the practical levers are sentiment first triage, topic aware watch lists for health and celebrity, tail sensitive monitoring using medians and not means, and always keeping a human in the loop before enforcement. This is another look at our triage dashboard prototype. It would flag high RPS items with a ranked queue and explain why each was flagged. For example, if it's been shared many times or if the sentiment seems out of bounds compared to peers. The dashboard would allow users to see snippets of the item content, such as a news article headline, and take actions such as organizing the item or flagging it to escalate. This may lead admins to review and block false content, trolls, or inappropriate spam. In the simulated image on this slide, the number one ranked item concerns vaccine microchip mandates that include dangerous tracking chips in every dose. The overall sentiment value is -78%, and this content has been widely shared, a high engagement value. This emotionally potent and viral content results in a high RPS measurement flag. To summarize, we found that false narratives are more emotionally polarized, rely 3 times more on negative sentiment, and achieve 10 times higher median engagement than real news. Health and celebrity topic sentiment pockets are the highest risk combinations. We built a generalizable 3-phase effects chain, resonance, proliferation, influence, quantified with Vader sentiment and engagement percentiles, and packaged as the RPS triage metric. And this enables a quantitative crosswalk to disarm tactics TA17 and TA09, sentiment first triage, and tail-aware monitoring applicable wherever text, labels, and engagement data exist. Future work will add timestamps and diffusion analysis, network and coordination signals, discrete emotion modeling beyond polarity, and intervention evaluation. Thank you. I welcome your questions and your comments at this time.